In this video, we're going to look at lab safety, and specifically, our goal is to be able to recall the safety rules to use in a science lab. So let's get started. Now, first off, what I want to talk about is you are responsible for your safety and the safety of those around you. Lab safety is so important. So, failure to act in a safe and responsible manner is going to result from the removal of all science lab privileges. This is a non negotiable for me. So, we have to take this very, very seriously. Now, let's talk about the science safety process itself. First off, what we kind of want to do is take a look at what are the hazards. So, when you're looking around the lab, what potential hazards do you see? Does the lab that we're doing involve potential for chemical or physical eye injury, or injury from sharp objects, or allergies, or any sort of thing? You kind of want to, when you're first looking at a lab, identify what those hazards might be. From there, you want to think about, well, what are the worst case scenarios? And I don't want to scare you, or I don't want this to be like a doom and gloom kind of thing. But you do want to think about, is there a potential that something could catch fire or explode, or glass equipment could shatter, or what are you going to do when we have a fire drill? So those are all sort of things that you kind of want to keep in mind as we're going through a lab. Next, now that you've kind of brainstormed, well, what are those hazards and what are the worst case scenarios? You can think about how you're going to deal with them. And it's really, really good that you think about this proactively to make sure that, you're not kind of freezing in the moment and not sure what to do. Now, if you don't know what to do, you're going to come and find me and notify me immediately. I've seen it all, I've dealt with it all. So I am super, super comfortable with anything happening in the lab. For example, if you break something and literally something is broken every single time we do the first lab in the year and throughout the rest of the semester, you want to come and notify me right away. I don't want you to get hurt from broken glass. So come tell me. I will clean it up and dispose of it properly in the correct kind of container. Finally, you want to think about how you can minimize your risk. And so, minimizing your risk really comes down to wearing appropriate clothing for labs, wearing all of the protective equipment, familiarizing yourself with lab procedures, and just generally keeping your area clean and tidy. So, things like you don't want open toed shoes. You want to wear long pants, long sleeves when we're doing labs. You want to, depending on the lab, if it requires it, you're wearing gloves. You're always wearing safety goggles for a lab. There might be lab coats. So, those are all sort of things that you can do to really minimize your risk. And finally, I just kind of want to end this video by saying, if you are not sure about something like poor Beaker is in this GIF, come and ask your teacher. So that is me. Come find me and we will deal with it together. So that is just a short introduction into lab safety. You're going to dive into it a little bit deeper throughout this lesson and this activity. So let's move on to the next item.